Bump, banana, go, Pack, go. You're going to hear a lot of that because that's excitement here, and you can hear it from Wisconsin. A monster deal goes down in the NFL yesterday. Micah Parsons traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. I never thought this would happen. Micah Parsons wants a trade. Yeah, he's not getting one. Sooner than later, these two will come to an agreement. No idea what Jerry Jones was saying. I want to negotiate with my player. I don't want to talk to the agent here. So now they opened up earlier this week, as we heard from insiders, that maybe Jerry is looking to trade Micah Parsons, but we still didn't think that would be a possibility. And where would he go? And Dallas Cowboys say, you know what? I think our team is better without Micah Parsons. Jerry did this. Sign your players sooner than later. Because here's what I always like where it comes down to. You're going to trade Micah Parsons and hoping that those 2 first-round draft picks somehow get you closer to Micah Parsons when you had Micah Parsons already on your football team. I was so shocked to hear this news come down yesterday because, once again, it's the failure of an organization. Jerry is an unbelievable businessman worth billions and billions of dollars. The Dallas Cowboys are the biggest brand in the world, but he is a bonehead when it comes to general managing. If you would have made this move when Micah Parsons wanted more money than you figured you would get him and traded him before the draft, you probably have 2 more defensive players and much more money allocated to your defense and offense to make your team better. You trade Micah Parsons a week before the season. Now your season is effectively over. Joe, where did this start and how did it happen? Micah Parsons ending up in Green Bay.
Well, it happened with, Jerry trying to do an end around by not including what is very clearly written into the collective bargaining agreement to have an agent present, but he thought he was going to somehow or another, push him into a corner and get a deal done without an agent in the room. And that obviously backfired in a big way. And then Jerry let the ego get involved. And all of a sudden, a lot of stuff coming out of his, this all could have been rectified, no problem. Initially, from what we're understanding now, the offer that was going to be presented or what Dallas was going to offer him wasn't far off from the total value of what he ended up getting from Green Bay. Again, Jerry, being Jerry, wanted to, always wants to have the last word and drag this thing out to a point where now it's a chess match. So now if he continues to act as if he's hurt, not available to play for you, he becomes a bigger and bigger cancer in that locker room, Donnie. He becomes a bigger and bigger distraction for this team. So at what point, Jerry, are you just going, can't get this done? The agent wouldn't talk to Jerry. Jerry wouldn't talk to the agent. And Micah Parsons becoming a distraction. You backed yourself into this corner. And now, all right, a couple of first-round picks, too late. Not for this year, Donnie. And that's my point. The Cowboys are telling Cowboy fans, we're in no rush. There's no urgency here. Green Bay is saying for the first time, I can't remember the last time Green Bay spent $188 million on a guy like this. And they are all in right now saying now is the time for the Packers to win a championship. Kudos to Green Bay. But Jerry, my goodness, good luck explaining this to the fan base.
You can't explain it. And that's the whole issue because once again, Joe, if you did this before the draft, Jerry Jones would get out and say, we love Micah. I can't spend $50 million on a defensive end. It's not the way we're going to make this team up. We had great seasons under Micah. We couldn't come to an agreement, but I moved him before the draft. I picked up a number 1 in this draft. I picked up a number 2 in this draft. I got Kenny Clark, and you probably still could have got that future first rounder, so then everything checks out. More money to spend on your team, draft ammunition that you can use for this year. The fact that you waited so long is just so ridiculous in the way it played out. Because if I'm Jerry Jones, you could be a smart general manager. It's almost like he watches Netflix and goes, you know what? We rebuilt this Dallas Cowboys team with a huge Herschel Walker move. This is my Herschel Walker move because Jerry didn't get credit last time because it was Jimmy that got credit for that as opposed to Jerry. Stop the madness here. Like, what did you do to your team? You now have 0 chance to win a Super Bowl this year. You just ignited the Green Bay Packers, who, oh, by the way, probably going to stand in your way if you do want to make the playoffs, and you do play the Green Bay Packers. And the Green Bay Packers, I believe, that game is going to be, I want to say, in Dallas on their schedule, which would be incredible for Micah Parsons going home. But you just empowered one franchise at the detriment to your own franchise, and away you go. I'm shocked this happened here. I always thought that it was some charade, and we'll drag this out, and we'll sign you a couple days before the Eagles game, but it wasn't meant to be. But also, from Micah's perspective here, You want to talk about some of these guys, Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt getting that big number. This resetting of the market at defensive end / outside linebacker, $180 million, $136 in total guarantees. I mean, unbelievable. What's the next pass rusher going to ask for next year?
It's going to be over the top. But again, this is a double-edged sword. Now, kudos, Green Bay. You rolled the dice and you literally just pushed all your chips in on a player who, although young and only 26, hasn't really done a whole heck of a lot outside of that first season here, Donnie. We've had injuries. We've had a couple of shots at a playoff game in which, Green Bay beat them. I mean, Green Bay had no problem handling Micah Parsons and company. So, if it doesn't work out, if he's hurt, if he doesn't turn out to be the player that they thought he was, this is a big risk here, one that you've got to take. You thought Dallas would have taken it, but who knew better than Dallas what he was all about? But for Green Bay, man, this is either all in or this is Super Bowl or it's bust at this point because you got all the other pieces. Let's see what they do with it now.
You're right. And if you look at the odds there to win the NFC North now, the Green Bay Packers are the favorite, plus 170. Look at the Detroit Lions, plus 185. Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Boy, you just loaded up that team where we knew the Packers were good. I still were calling for them to make the playoffs before the Parsons deal. But now you can say they would be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. If Micah Parsons is healthy for this season and plays the way we think he can play, that just levels up that defense another angle to say, we can beat the Lions. We can beat the Eagles. We can beat the best in the NFC. Why? Because if we're up late in the game, we can hunt down quarterbacks like crazy. What a move here. Excitement for the Packers? No doubt about it, Joe.
And they should be. But again, you gotta, when you see a generational talent in the second hardest position to fill on a roster, you go all in. The Packers historically have not been that team, Donnie. That's the amazing thing.
How about a press conference from Jerry Jones saying we got a really good defender to stop the run. Holy moly, Dallas. Tough scene. Let's get after it. It's the early line, hot topics. It's a Friday. It's a football Friday. No better place to be to set the table for the rest of your SportsGrid day. It's Donnie Rightside. It's Joe Raineri. And you hear the guy in the background is Tom Vecchio, my counterpart on Pro Baseball Today, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. The final send-off, Tom Vecchio. Apparently, baseball ends in August, and we just go right to football season on the grid. How about that?
Yeah, Sunday, like you said, the final send-off. Football, we know on Sunday morning certainly does take a priority. Busy week across the sports landscape. We obviously have college starting. We're getting into full swing. The Micah Parsons trade yesterday. We got a lot to get to.
We do got a lot to get to. And by the way, I was driving to the Phillies game yesterday, which I saw 4 Schwarber bombs leave the ballpark. That was fun. But driving there, Tom, the bomb dropped on the radio. Micah Parsons traded to the Green Bay Packers. I never thought that would happen. I thought the squabbles would eventually calm down. And, Micah wants to trade. Yes, so does every superstar athlete. It's probably just between a couple $1 million. They'll meet halfway, and he'll play against the Philadelphia Eagles next Thursday night in Philadelphia. That didn't happen. The Packers got a monster as a defensive pass rusher. And Jerry Jones is telling everybody, Tom, we're so much better today than having Micah Parsons traded than not being on this football team. Come on now, Tom. Explain it to me.
Honestly, terrible. And the return alone for Parsons, to me, 2 first-rounders and you get back a nose tackle. Like, 2 first-rounders isn't enough when you are trading away a player that is legitimately on a Hall of Fame trajectory. And like you said, eventually he paid Dak. Eventually he paid CeeDee Lamb. We have seen this play out time and time again. And whatever the difference was in money, you have to find a reason to make that, bridge that gap to keep arguably a player that is going to be in line or one of the top contenders with Hutchinson and Watt for Defensive Player of the Year for the next 5+ years in a row, and you are trading them away for 2+ picks, and you're saying, you're a better team today. Yeah, those picks could end up being great. There's no doubt about it. First-round talent is a premium in the NFL, but those players aren't going to be realized for 24 months at this point. What are we doing?
Yeah, no urgency is what we're doing. But how does that change your view on Green Bay? And now it seems everyone wants to run, and now Green Bay wins everything here now. Are you convinced?
I would say if you had a ticket on Green Bay prior to the number moving, fantastic. At 12-1 to win the Super Bowl, at least that I'm seeing now in the FanDuel Sportsbook, I wouldn't jump in at this point. Right? You can again, the price move to win the NFC North. If you had a ticket on them prior to yesterday, awesome. I would not jump in on them now. That division is super, super tough. So I don't want to be betting into a tough situation after the number has already moved. Now, you can take them on a game-to-game basis. You could look at certainly some other opposing team total unders, whatever it might be situationally. But from a top-down perspective, the numbers moved and you missed the boat. I would not be getting in at this point.
I do love the fact that also, like Jerry Jones, knowing that, like, oh, Micah Parsons have many chances to places he can go to. If you open this up to the league-wide trade, there probably been 15 teams with honest efforts to try to trade him and get him, and yet Jerry Jones keeps him in the NFC, which the Dallas Cowboys will play the Green Bay Packers this year, and over the next couple of years, we'll be fighting for playoff spots with the Green Bay Packers. It's Jerry Jones. He thinks they got the better end of the deal. We'll find out, but I think the early results are, what a terrible move, Jerry. Donnie Rightside and Joe Raineri. I think we got you ready for this week. I think we brought the pain. I think you're ready for Labor Day. I think you're ready for Major League Baseball today, the college football that you're going to see this weekend on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and also on Monday night. I think we're there for us, Joe. The energy, certainly high. The table's been set for the day. But at this point in the show, you know the drill, Joe. We reach out to the public and ask them a question, and we want their feedback. This is Fade the Public. Simple question today. The hottest topic yesterday. No, it wasn't Travis Kelce and, Jason Kelce and, playing in Arrowhead and Taylor Swift and the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That was fun. Micah Parsons got traded yesterday. And if you went to our account at SportsGrid on X, we asked that simple question. Can Parsons and the Packers win the Super Bowl? No. 62%. Yes. 38%. I voted no, just because I wanted to vote no on that point, Joe. What was your opinion on this one?
He is such a wild card. Is he a great talent? Absolutely. But he's also now making quarterback money. And what happens? Is he going to love living in Green Bay, this guy? What if it doesn't go as well as they thought here? There's just far too many questions. And he's not a proven commodity in postseason football here. So, they beat him. Green Bay beat him when he was at Dallas in the playoffs. So I would wait and see. Are they better today because he's on the team? Yes. Does that mean I'm running to the window and I think they are now the favorite to win the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. I agree with the public.